What is up, my beautiful buttercups? Thank you so much for joining A Pluto's Voice today, where we co-create our messages for the Twin Flame Collective together. My name is Pluto, and I am here to assist you on your journey through this twin flame relationship, because there is a lot that goes on, and so we need to have a collective that supports one another, because this is like nothing that we have ever experienced before. Okay, so the message that came through, I actually had my tarot cards ready and I was going to channel a message that way, but I got a way more powerful message earlier today, and I really felt like it resonated with the Divine Feminine Collective, and I just wanted to share it. So I have actually been a little more tired than normally the last couple of days, and I don't really know what's caused that. I've just been tired, and so anytime that happens, because I have been on this healing journey, I do take time to rest and to rejuvenate myself, because it is very, very important. And I have had zero energy. So today, I slept a lot yesterday, but today I wanted to really get outside. And it was important for me. Today was a sunny day outside, so it was important for me to get outside and get underneath the sun. So I mustered up enough energy to get like a jacket and a hat and gloves on and get myself outside. And as soon as I stepped outside, this amazing feeling happened. First of all, I felt like I was with my Divine Feminine Collective, and it just always feels so good to be in that energy, because it's a girls energy. We support one another, at least the Divine Feminines that I'm around, because we realized that it is a lot of energy that we have to put forth trying to bring this connection into union. So I just felt really connected, and I felt like I connected with a specific group of Divine Feminines who really love going out in nature, to connect, to experience the elements, to ground, to recharge, to rejuvenate. And so the Divine Feminine that I'm speaking to definitely likes to go outside to recharge and to rejuvenate. And as soon as I stepped out and I had that wonderful, beautiful feeling, I immediately got hit with the words, "The only thing that is stopping you is you." And it was like the screen door on the back of my house just shut. It didn't happen in real life, but that's how it felt like. It was just like an energetic startledness when that happened. And I sat there for a second and I just thought about that, and I was like, oh wow, that is so profound and interesting to come through right now. And so I proceeded to go walk and get to the place I usually meditate at and sit around. And I really felt this heaviness when I started sitting around. I have some rocks outside, and I was sitting around these rocks, and I just felt like this genuine heaviness, which I did think was interesting, because I went to the heaviest rocks that I have, and I just felt this heaviness. And so I felt like this Divine Feminine that I'm channeling, she has been in all of these super stressful, high chaotic, I even see kind of a waitress job or a nursing job or, even a teacher's job. Those days can be so chaotic, things happen that I see a bank teller, just all of these things that happen, and you're not expecting your day to go how it's going to go, but it just happens, And I feel like this divine feminine, she's had all of these super heavy situations going on in her life, all the way up until the point that it is now. And one by one, over life, over a long period of time, she has cut loose that heaviness, a little at a time. And she's become lighter because of this. Now, what she was basically doing in these situations is she would go in and she would not feel as though she could be loved for her true authentic self, so she would use coping mechanisms or different adaptive strategies to receive her love, or to get love from the masculine. But each and every time she did this, or at work, to get approval at work and praise at work that she's doing a great job, or approval anywhere, it's like she realized that ultimately she had to maintain that level of fakeness to receive that validation or love or whatever you want to call it. And it was just not working for her because it's not truly who she was. And so she's gotten to a point where she has come out of a lot of different heavy situations, and it'll be different for everybody. But she has transformed and become lighter because of this. And each and every time she stood up for herself and got herself out of these situations, she became more authentic. She became more who she ultimately was, so that she could resonate and call in the people that would help her on the next part of the journey, that would show her the next part that she needed to heal. And by rising out of all of these heavy, hard, like the rock that I was sitting beside, hard rock, rigid, heavy situations, she's refined herself to her authenticness, her authentic self, which has in return, whether she realizes this or not, it has made her incredibly powerful because her energy resonates her authenticity. And she becomes magnetic because she's authentic. So this is where the message is going to get super specific, and it's only going to resonate with a unique part of the Divine Feminine Collective. So what I felt when I was sitting beside these rocks was this Divine Feminine was able to find her authentic self. She was able to uncover it. I kind of saw like an archaeologist digging some bones. She went down to the core and she figured out, what her authentic self was. And she's got into a relationship where she can be her authentic self, okay? And it's okay. But what she's realizing is the resistance is within herself. So she knows intuitively there are things that she needs to do, whether that is to cut a cord and to, go no contact, or to leave a relationship that is not serving her, or to stand up to a boss that is not paying her correctly, or not giving her breaks like she should, or whatever it may be, or a friend situation that is abusing her, whatever it may be. She is finding, she almost, let me give you an example actually, because I see a visual and this would better explain what I'm trying to say in words. I learn better visually anyway. So what I see is a Divine Feminine sitting on a couch, and what has happened was at one point in her life she was a busy mom. It seems like she went to college, she worked a job, she had a spouse, she had a house, so she had to clean and keep it all together, and so she was busy, and there was no time to spend on herself, okay? And she reached a breaking point, and then she began her journey with self-love and started manifesting space. And so I see her in this quiet home, no one's home, and she is supposed to be using, I feel like her gifts are spiritual gifts, and she is supposed to be meditating or doing something, along the lines of using her spiritual gifts, but she's on her phone scrolling. It looks like actually she's playing a game. And, at the end of the day, this game doesn't really matter. And so I see that this divine feminine, she has created this space to allow her to birth something new. She has that creative spark. She has, and when I say birth something new, all kinds of things started coming to my mind. A business, a baby, a home, a community group that needs to come together. Just whatever she has decided to create. It's almost like she's going back to the distraction to not have to focus on doing what her intuition is definitely telling her to do. Now, if that makes sense. So, it's almost like the word consuming just came to my mind, and it's almost as though she's just consuming content, consuming food, like maybe a bag of potato chips beside her on the couch, just mindlessly consuming. And your soul knows that you were here to produce something beautiful for this world. So I see so I'm sorry. I was just listening. The spirit guide said that this divine feminine was manifesting space so that she could allow her garden to grow. So that may resonate with someone. But what I'm getting is, and you may not even realize you're doing this, and that's why your guides want you to hear this message, because they want you to become aware of the situations where you are not living in your highest vibration. You have some type of spiritual gift, and I'm not sure what it is, but you have some type of spiritual gift. You're a very, very powerful feminine. And you were meant to use these gifts worldwide and really heal the collective. And that's why you are such a deep empath. And you have to, now's the time that you can't place the blame on anybody else, or you have to do what your intuition tells you to do. And I want to use an example, because this actually, now that I'm talking about it, it reminds me of something that happened a couple nights ago. So I have been having some back pain. I'm getting older, but I've been having some back pain, and I just know it is my bed that is causing my back pain. It's almost like it's too soft. And so I did some research on it, and I found a lot of things about sleeping on the floor. And I found that fascinating because, I just had imitated what I had always learned, which from the time I was a baby in a crib to now, I had slept in a bed. There were times camping and stuff, but you know what I'm saying. And so I decided to commit to sleeping on the ground every night. Well, I slept on the ground the first night, and of course I was sore, which that was expected, because I had never slept on a hard surface, and my muscles were getting used to just supporting me. And so, but I had talked to my spouse about all of the benefits, and I was like, we need to do this together and all of this stuff. And I kid you not, that next night, I was laying in bed and I knew I could very well get up and go lay on the ground, on the floor, right beside him, right beside the bed. I could go and lay down on the floor, but I was like, oh no, I need to stay in bed. Like, he needs me here. I don't know. I came up with 1,000,010 different excuses on why I shouldn't go down there and sleep on that floor. And no one was stopping me. No one was stopping me. No one was judging me. I literally had zero excuse. I couldn't blame him. I couldn't, nothing. I had to blame myself. Like, I am the reason that I did not go sit down there on the floor. And I've always been the reason, but I, at some points in my life, had an opportunity to blame others. I had people that were, I dated people that were very restrictive or something. And if they thought I was out of the bed, that would, very Scorpio tendencies. And I don't have that with this partner. And so I definitely was free to do things. I didn't feel any type of entrapment, yet I stopped myself from doing it. And it was a powerful, powerful lesson for me when that happened, because I realized it's up to me to take the action that is needed for me. And Chase Hughes, I don't know if any of you watch him on YouTube, but he brought up an interesting point about discipline. He said discipline really is you loving your future self so much that you're willing to do the work now for your future self. And I really couldn't think of a better definition. And so I self-sabotaged my discipline within myself, my trust in myself. I mean, a lot of things happened because I wouldn't get up and go sit on that floor and lay down. And, it took a lot of meditating to bring my power back to me and realize this is what I want to do. And I don't know if there are any benefits to sleeping on the floor. I am the type of person that I want to learn about something and then I want to experiment and try it out and see, does my back feel better after I do this? And give it a month or something and see what my results are. I love experimenting. That's the one thing I love about this earth. You can experiment with anything. And, I definitely did not follow through with that. And so I sabotaged myself in so many ways by not keeping that commitment. And that's what I'm talking about with this Divine Feminine. It's almost like she's going through, it's her own story. It's not my story, but it's her own story of where she knows what she needs to do or what she wants to try. And this is a time of trying. I do want to say that as well. Don't get caught up that this is a time where you have to be an expert in something and you have to go for it. This is a time to experiment. I mean, I just started this YouTube channel about readings. I did not ever anticipate this ever happening. It's funny how life works, but here we are. And I just started after the new year getting all kinds of messages, and I almost felt like a dam built up with water. I was like, I have to get these messages out. They have to come out. And it almost like I had no other choice but to get on here and start spreading the messages that I get, because I feel as though we can connect and you can take what resonates and use it for your benefit to help you along on your journey. So, I know it was a total tangent, but yes, this Divine Feminine wanted to take space within her chaotic life to allow her garden to grow. And your guides want you to know that at this time, it's okay. Just be aware of it. Just find these little bitty moments where your body is telling you to get up and go do something, or your soul is like, turn off that TV, like I want to go be in nature right now, or all these little moments where your intuition is telling you something. Honor it as the divine feminine and trust it and use it and allow it to guide you into your blossoming future. I just saw a visual of a flower just completely blooming, and it was gorgeous. It's like good hair, it's shiny and thick and voluminous and oh goodness. Okay, let's see. Let me draw a card. So I do feel like this divine feminine, you're somehow getting in your own way. And your guides just want you, they don't really want you to do anything about it. Just kind of become aware of when you are getting in your own way, and then thinking about like ways you can stop that, like how, if you're scrolling and you may become, you're totally unaware that you're scrolling or playing a game, and then it comes to you, oh, I should do this, get up and do it, because that means you trust yourself, you trust your intuition, you believe in it. It does so many good things for your nervous system when you trust yourself, and you know that whatever you need to be doing is for your best and highest good, because you have such a gift and you were meant to share it with the world. Now that's what I'm talking about. This is a very specific group of divine feminines, because not every divine feminine is meant to share her gift with the whole entire world. There are divine feminines that have gifts that stay local to their community, and we need those kind of people too. I think of midwives and things like that help the women in their community, or the women that get meal trained